All right, let us start our session today. Today is 21st of September 2024, and we will happen to be my birthday of this physical body. So it is. It is divine coincidence that it happened to be my birthday. Otherwise, there is no such plan in celebrating my birthday, but it is, as today we'll do our session. So I really, really appreciate immense love and blessings for all of you. I'm getting, hundreds of messages since the morning. So I really, truly appreciate and feel blessed and privileged to be here with you, and your kind words. You have written very, very nice words about me, but it is only just, Babaji is expressing through me. I don't have anything to take any credit whatsoever to take for that. Whatever the light reaches to you, the guiding light or the love you will get touched upon and you just feel connected, all are coming from Babaji. I'm just happen to be that the instrument to pass that divine blessings and light to you. So that is the thing. So all in this, my commitment is, my life mission is to spread householder spirituality, and I shall continue to do that. Whether I am at home here in UAE currently, or I'm traveling all over the world and I visit all householders, their houses, and the changing the energy or uplift the energy of their home, and that is one of the missions. So I will be continue to do that. In between, because of COVID and other things, which is just little bit. We milo it down, but we are starting again. So we'll soon be visiting. It is in addition to other programs we normally have. So we will be doing that. All right. So today we'll start our session number 219, and it is the topic is life, death, and afterlife. There are about 22 questions posted by Shoma. Shoma, you are here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Yeah. All right. So let us start. I will try to, because there are many questions, so I will not spend too much time on each question. If we have time, then we'll come back again, and if there is a more follow-up questions, we can address it that time. But now let us go one by one so that we don't, fall short of time. So just start with your questions. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, happy birthday, Rajdeep.
Bless you.
Wait a minute, I'll just see the questions. Yeah. The first one is, how do different cultures view the moment of death?
Okay. All right. This particular aspect, it is. I will not share the information because it is available in the net, and you can read it, or everybody can read it there. I'll just give my views on this one. So, three things in the humanity from the beginning of the civilization, even when the human actually was born, even prior to civilization. That three things have been very commonly understood by human being. That the three things are life, birth, then marriage, and then the death. These three things have been from the time immemorial. It has been followed. Certain kind of rituals, certain kind of celebrations, or some program has been done for these three events for sure. Other things, it changes from different cultures, different time period. But the things we have been seeing, because you have seen different cultures over the centuries, over the millennia, and even the prehistoric, like when it was there is no proper civilization, then also these three things were celebrated somehow. Some hint of those kind of celebration. You can see the tribals who are following some kind of cultures from maybe thousands of years, still they follow this kind of thing. But these three things are very common. Yeah. So in that sense, the death is one of them. These three things are inevitable in human life. So that's what it is very basic understood by their direct experience. The newborn or birth in the family, and then the growing up and all these things, and the marriage, between man and woman, and then finally the death of someone. It has been seen in every families, and from there it has become a part of the culture. What is a type of celebration that is different? That is more or less a cultural or the social event, like a gathering or something like that. But in that, one thing is very common, which is over the period of centuries in different cultures. What are the things common? The first two events, like a birth in the family or the marriage, these are the joyful celebration. It is like a celebration of joy. The nature may be different, the rituals followed may be different, but these are joyful. The death it is more or less a sorrowful, like a mourning and sorrowful thing. And these three aspects are common in all cultures. There is nowhere it is seen other way around. Like nobody has been mourning birth in the family, or marriage has been seen. It is not a joyful celebration. What happens after marriage is a different issue. But at least the marriage ceremony is joyful. Yeah. Anyway, so these three, but how they look at this death, it varies from the cultural understanding of that particular time. They do celebrate, but exactly what they celebrate, that differs from time to time, culture to culture, nation to nation, and later on religion to religion. These are different. Because of their faith, they celebrate it in that way. You can see, just to give an example, how they are different. The Egyptians, we have the pyramids. Pyramids are basically tombs. Yeah? The king and queen, their tombs, and they have the different kind of ritual. Yeah? Sometimes it is maybe, the horrific. Like if some king dies, then all his, queens and family members and servants, they used to be murdered to put them into the pyramid. Mummified and things like that. Anyway, let us not go into the judgment thing, but that is their culture. That's what they used to believe, that there is after the physical body has gone, then there is afterlife, and for that they need everything. But the king used to have it in this life, also needed there. So that is their ritual. Because why I'm saying this, the killing, etc., it came from the belief and faith that what needs to be done. And from there it has come. That was the ritual. And in different type of systems and cultures will happen in the different religions, and it changes over the period of time. Even the rituals associated with the death also changed, that changed, or you can say evolved. Whether it's good or bad, that's a different thing. It's a personal view, but it changed, In just for example, in the Bengal also, in the earlier days, not earlier means just maybe 100 or 200 years back, there is the wife has to be the burn Satiraha Pratha. That's the burn at the fire in the husbands at the time of death. They have to sacrifice their life. These kind of customs were also there. Anyway, but all these are based on the belief system or the religious system developed at that particular period of time. Accordingly, they have done it. So they have, their rituals or the systems. These are things there. But in general, so if you talk about the different cultures, I'm just saying all this practice, whatever has been done, it is very minimum to do with the proper spiritual understanding. Just to make this comment, I just wanted to make this is the truth. Most of the things are basically the social norms. It is nothing to do with the actual what happens, to the departed souls. It is not because of that. It is because of the society. Because these things, as I mentioned in the beginning, three things have been, some kind of celebrated or like event took place for these three events, like birth, marriage, and death. So that death is also different type of ceremonies have been done at the time of death. That part is common. But what are those? Is are the meaningful? Most of them are not. That is the truth. Most of them came from their understanding of that. It is came from the lower side understanding, like a common social, this kind of understanding, not necessarily those are anything to do with the actual departed soul. So it is basically, you can say these are the cultural events. Like cultural means not cultural, I mean social events. It is not spiritual events that need to be done, or this is required as per the spiritual principle. Those are not. It is just like the social norms, social ceremonies, those have been played out over the centuries and different parts, different cultures, and that is the reality. So I will leave it there. So I don't have any right to say which is right and which is wrong. As I said, the Egyptians, whether killing everybody is the right thing or wrong thing. I have my own personal view, but I'm no one to comment on whether the Egyptians were right there or this. As I tell some Hinduism, there are some like customs, whether they are right or wrong. So I have no one to talk about that. But it is a truth. It is a fact that those are happened and those are recorded in the history. Anybody has been interested to know, they can do that web search and study those matters. So I just given my view that those are social events. Those are not spiritual events. All right.
Thank you. Should I say the next two questions, because in some way I think they're linked?
If these are combined, then you say
okay.
it.
Okay, sure. Second one, yeah. If I believe, this is from the belief that, I believe there is an afterlife. How does that affect my life, my present life? Even with that belief, how does one reconcile to the uncertainty of death with the need for peace in this life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is from the perspective of someone who believes in afterlife.
Yeah. Okay. So, see, the fact is everybody believe in something, somewhere or other, some kind of afterlife and all. Yeah. The believers of this is the only thing, life, and there is nothing else, after death is rare. I'm not saying it is not there. These are also, there are very tiny percentage of people, they believe that this is the only life, this is the first life, and this, when we die, it's the end and nothing else. Okay. That's very minor things. I'm just living there because those are exceptions. I'm not talking about that. So everybody, whether they know exactly what it is, of course they don't know, but there is something that they are aware. There will be something, after death. So that's why the afterlife, the word came. Yeah. Now your question is about, if I believe in afterlife, how does that affect my present life? It depends upon what is your belief system. Okay. If somebody believes that there will be judgment day after I die, then you will, make your life decisions accordingly, because some day is coming. Some religion they call judgment day, and some day is called that at the time of some Chitragupta or something of that nature. But there are something is there. So if your belief system says that you are answerable to your deed here one day, somewhere, that changes religion to religion. But there is a majority of the believer, they believe there will be something, some assessment or something will be there. If nothing is there, at least you have to face some court or interview or something. Okay. So some judgment will be there. So there all your life deeds will be opened, all your, the accounts will be opened and evaluated. And based on that, the afterlife positioning, how you will get the quality of afterlife, that will be decided. That is a common belief. Yeah? Means basically saying that common belief is if you have a good deed and you have a greater marks, you'll go to heaven. And if it's very low marks, negative marks, you'll go to hell. Something like that. I'm just saying the belief. I'm not saying this is what, that is my understanding. I'm saying this is what the people, they believe. Yeah. So some people, if they don't believe in that, or they believe in I can do anything and get away with it, or maybe they have some contradicting belief, like I can do so many things and then I can go and do certain ritual, everything will go away. That is also another belief system. In India, many people believe that whatever you do, go and dip in the Ganges, everything will go away, wash away your sins. Yeah? These are all part of the belief system. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, again, right or wrong. I'm saying that is what the belief system is. So based on your belief system, you operate your life accordingly, because your belief guides you into that respect. So if you believe that, no, I have to face something after I die, so you will play your life, or the decisions you take in your life out of your free will be dealt accordingly by yourself only. But if you believe that, okay, fine, whatever I do, I have some other method, I'm a smart guy, I will do something, like as for example, that dip in the Ganges, etc., then it will wash away and I will go clean and go. So it is a smart move. So I can do certain things, whatever I like to do. Yeah. So based on that, maybe if you convince yourself in certain way, and then it will not disturb you, even though you are doing something which is, not good, but you convince yourself that, oh, I can take care of it, and I have some neutralization method. Before I die, I will do certain things. I will take that medicine and it will go away. This kind is a belief system, but this kind of thing, the logically convincing part, is it sound familiar? It is directly come from your ego. It is nothing to do with the truth. Yeah? Your ego can convince you to do certain things, and you understand before I die, I will do certain things, or maybe do some japa or kirtan or whatever. I do some ritual, I will wash away everything, and I will go back clean. That's how they understand. That's how they make themselves convinced, and then they think I can get away with all this kind of thing. So they'll lead their life accordingly. There can be also extreme thing, like that is, what is the second part of the question? How does one reconcile the uncertainty of death and the need for the peace in life? Yeah. See, in the first question, I explained that it is everybody understood. Yes, these three things are almost inevitable. At least birth and death is inevitable. And it is well understood. And for that, it is a spiritual truth, but for that you need not to be spiritual. To understand, if anything has born, it has to die. Man is mortal. For that, you need not to be a spiritual scholar or, of any knowledgeable person or get doctorate on it. Anybody can understand that. Yeah. Question is when, because uncertainty part comes that we don't know when. It can be next, maybe after say 30 years, maybe, after 5 years, maybe 2 years, or next year, maybe, next month, or even tomorrow. Who knows? Okay. This is the uncertainty part, and that makes some people really scary, because this uncertainty part of it, this is only thing, it is not under control of your physical body and mind, which is controlled by ego. So ego does not know. So what it does is that ego injects that fear into our mind. I think there are other questions. I will go in little detail on that. So it is a matter of ego who makes our life terrible, based something it doesn't know, neither it has got a proper logical answer. So that's why, because of the fear of unknown has been injected, and they become fearful. Only thing is, this fear need to be managed. It should not interfere into day-to-day part of our life. And how it can be managed? It can be managed like accepting it. As I said, it is the truth, because everybody knows if I have born, I have to die. As simple as that. Something has started, it will end, like a journey. Any journey you have started, it will end also sometime. So this particular aspect, particular aspect is to, wait a minute, somebody wants to join. Okay. So this particular aspect, it depends upon, you need to manage it. The more you can accept it, you can move forward more with a freer. But if you just be worried about it and you get, it is possible that you worry about every day or maybe every time, then it will affect your life, living life. That is in this matter, you might have seen that I have posted one, the Snoopy dog cartoon thing. Yeah. That the Charlie, that boy, what he is saying that someday will die and he is feeling sad or something. Everybody of more or less, they are like that. But what the dog's answer is, wisdom comes from there. The wisdom is that, okay, fine. It is, we cannot do anything about it. We'll die someday. But what about the other days where we will not die? So if you see that, if you suppose our life is say 85 years, for example, so 85 years means about more than 31,000 days. Yeah. So consider 80 plus, maybe 30,000 days. So you will die only one day. So that is, then 29,999 days you have to live. So better to focus on that. Percentage-wise is almost nothing. Yeah, if you say that 1 upon 30,000, it is nothing almost. 0.0000 something 1. So this particular aspect, more we accept it, it is better. Then we can just live our life peacefully, accepting the fact that yes, one day we have to go, but different ways we have to, based on our understanding and intelligence, we'll do that. But spiritual matter is completely different. I will talk about it later, but it is spiritual, get about the death is ultimate liberation. That is something completely different. But so far, you have to just accept it as man is mortal. So we have to die one day. Acceptance is the key. Next question.
Yeah. So even if you have touched a little bit upon it, I'll just read that question.
Yeah.
How does spiritual belief affect our feelings towards death as a possibility of afterlife? Like with the possibility of afterlife. And the next one is that for people who believe that there is no afterlife, then what would be the meaning of life or death? Because there are often many people I have come across also who believe that they want proof. Since there is no proof, they believe that everything ends with this life. Then what is death to them?
Okay. No, let me do one by one. First, what was the first one? This one I will explain little in detail. The fourth question, what I've written here, how does spiritual belief affect your feelings towards death? Okay. Let me give you the spiritual understanding. Okay. Spiritual understanding that it is, our soul is immortal. Okay. And it is, it just incarnates different time and different cultures and different places, and also it is not the one life. We have the multiple lifetimes. We can, on the spiritual path, we can experience directly of that. So there is no doubt about it. That is, it is there. I can say that, forget about the heard stories. Personally, I can confirm that minimum 70 of my past life I have visited personally myself, have a first-hand experience. So it is definitely there. So spiritual, and whoever walked the spiritual path, they get this understanding, the experience of their past lives, and they understand that why it need to be now known, because it is about the soul's purpose is revealed to them. That's why it is known. So somebody is really, really interested what happens after life, you can walk the path and ultimately you get it. Okay, so there is no such thing that you will not come to know. uncertainty of the death, etc. Though all the spiritual effect of feeling towards death, it completely changes. It even come to the fear element changes. Fear comes because the truth is unknown. Why truth is unknown? If you go to deep, drill into any kind of events in your life, it basically misunderstanding that we are separated from the creator, that creates the illusion of the destruction of something, which is our physical body. So the destruction of something become fearful. It's just meant to go anyway. You cannot keep it, no matter what you do. Immortality is not possible in the physical body normally. There are exceptions, but I'm not going to exceptions here. But more normally, you cannot keep it. No matter what you do, it will go sometime. Maximum you can prolong it, maybe your life sometime, but not you cannot keep it permanently. It has to go because that's how it is designed for. But how you can accept it? You go for something which is permanent, which will not go. And that permanent thing is your soul level. It will not get destroyed. That is immortal, your soul. So if you go develop the spiritual understanding from a spiritual person, the understanding it is just like changing clothes. We have to wear different type of clothes. We have become different incarnations. As I just mentioned, in human body, we have minimum 700 lifetimes. Before that, there are animals, thousands of them, and before that there are the plants, maybe lakhs of them, and earlier than that there's a mineral. So anyway, and there are some of the scripture, etc. They mention about 84 lakhs the birth you have to take to come to this level of whether you are ready for spiritual journey, etc. Anyway. So doesn't matter of the number, but numbers are quite big. So that much times you have to incarnate in the different body to have the different experiences. So as the truth is that whatever is born, it has to die. So if you have incarnated, you opted, and the soul level also you have a free will, you incarnate a certain level, you have to leave somewhere, sometime of that body. That is also sure. Only thing is, if you get connected to the spiritual thing, so that spiritual perspective become your afterlife. So, and this life is the experiences of same spirit, but experiences in the three-dimensional reality. So it is just a change in dimension. So for those afterlife, for the spiritual person, just change in dimension. I had hundreds of them, maybe thousands of them. This is just one more, and that's it. How does it matter? It's not a big deal. But on the other way, if somebody does not have any of that kind of perspective, which is, I think, the next question, if there is no afterlife, what meaning of the life after death, this thing. If somebody doesn't believe there is no afterlife, how does it matter that, how it affects of that? So it doesn't matter. They don't believe, it's okay. They have a right not to believe anything. That's okay. So they will live the life like any other thing. Maybe there are, just like there are many animals and all, they don't have a fear after life and death and all those things. They just live in the present moment and they eat and whatever their the physical body eat and all these things they do, and at the one moment it dies, and that's how. So those consciousness wise, they are not awakened consciousness. So it doesn't matter what happens, whether they fear it or not. Maybe they fear it. So, but how does it matter? Because they are not interested in the truth. They don't need to know. They don't want to put any effort to know what happens. Only those who just interested to know what happens, or they have seen death in the family, they are thinking about it and all, that is where the seeking starts. And that's where the spiritual journey also starts. Spiritual journey starts with, no matter how it triggered, the story of Gautam Buddha, Siddhartha. He has seen some very old aged man, and then it's think what is called, then one person is a diseased man and one death. That changes his perspective about life. Earlier he was having the same notion that that's all, I'm enjoying my life, etc. But when he come to know it happens to everybody, no exception, then only he started to looking for the truth. So that journey you have to start, no matter what triggers it. But when our spiritual journey starts with this question, who am I and what I am doing here? You know, what is the purpose of my life? From there, the spiritual journey starts. Those who continue the journey, keep on asking, keep on pursuing, they get it. You know, thousands of people, they already got it, got the answer, got the truth, got that experience. So it is there. But only thing is you have to walk on your own, unless and otherwise it is not possible that it will automatically known to you. So you need to have that kind of truth. You have to do something that is spiritual practice or sadhana is all about. But of course, we have a free will. We have a choose not to go for sadhana, or even if we know we don't want to pursue it, it's okay. You have a right not to know of something as well. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And the next part is because, it's about death ritual. There are a lot of, I can tell from the Hinduism perspective, if I can, that there are a lot of complicated rituals, and sometimes it depends upon the time of death. That's what the Purohit always talks about. And then there's a whole list of things that one has to do. So based on that, my question is, why do we perform these ceremonies and rituals? What purpose do they serve for the living as well as for the deceased?
Okay. See, as I mentioned, I think in the second question, that these are all like a social events. Okay. And that's why it is different in different cultures, different places, different countries. You know, something is there in the Hinduism, something in Islam, something in Christianity and Jainism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism. All these things are different, right? Rituals are different. That means from the truth point of view, the ultimate what really needed by the person, departed person, it doesn't matter. But that the event, the ceremony, is governed by the tradition or the culture or the social norms. So that is what it is. And whoever has been living in the society, they need to follow it, because they are, man is social animal. So animal means, like a being. So you have to live in the society, you have to follow the social norms, and as simple as that. So that's why those rituals are there. So, and but if it is needed for the departed one, not necessarily. They may not ask for it, and they may not need it. Or if you don't do, there will something will happen to them. Not necessarily. Yeah. So there are many other ways. If the departed one, they do need something, there are different ways to convey that to the family members, and all that can happen irrespective of whether you have done the ritual or not done the ritual. So those are not important. But the truth is, it is these rituals are for the social norms. It is nothing to do with the need for the afterlife. It is not that. That is not the truth is. But in the name of afterlife, they do many things. Yes, that is correct. But that is the culture. That is the rituals. They are developed for the different time in the history, and that's what is followed. So again, I have no right to say it is good or bad or needed or not needed. I don't know, because it is the family wanted to be in the society, and they wanted to show that they respect the departed one. That's why they do, because that's what they wanted to follow, all the rituals given by the society or the religion. All they don't want to be seen as the rebellion of that kind of cultures and society. They think it will disrespect that. One part is common to all the cultures. The departed one, all the rituals are done in the respect of the departed one. So they do everything, whether you believe it or not, whether it's not, but they follow in the society norms. So they feel that I need to do it because don't want to disrespect the departed one. So if I make it just a one-line thing, it is more of the people who lived here, the family members, is for them or their relatives or the neighbors and all those kind of things. It is not that much for the actually who is departed. Even if you don't do anything, there will no change happen to that, or any obstacle will come into the afterlife of the departed one. It is not the case. Okay. So that is the understanding of this matter.
Okay. So it's not like that will help them to pass on more smoothly.
No. In the name of that, lot of rituals. See, I'm giving a logically. I'm not judging anything.
Okay.
Yeah? If that is the case, why it is different in the different countries and different religions and different things then?
True.
Yeah. So if certain things have been followed in Hinduism, suppose some Christianity it is not being followed. So that means the Christians are stuck somewhere? No. It is not the case, right? So anyway, so that's what I'm saying. It is more like a cultural or social events rather than it is actually what is needed for the departed one.
Okay. So the next question is, that's why based on this. So is it, does that mean that these rituals are a distraction for those who are living? Or,
no.
Or they find closure from it?
No, understood. But no. It is mutually exclusive.
Okay.
Do it or don't do it, or how you do it, whether we do it in the proper way or there is not much, nothing to do with that. It is nothing to do. It's all about that respect. Yeah. If it is disrespectful, disrespectful, they feel, feelings are there. Even they can feel everybody's internal thing. They can, after, when you leave the body, you can get a feeling of everybody. So if somebody is actually, like abusing or cursing and things like that, they feel bad, but it still doesn't hamper into their growth, because they are not governed by this energy. They're governed by some higher energy. So they are protected, they're guided by their own in angelic realm. There are many things are there. So they don't depend upon whether some of my relatives or family members will do something, not to do something, or what they are saying, or whether they're ready or not ready, or nothing to do with that. Okay. It's just a feeling. That's all, so they move on. They don't get stuck because of something is, done, not done, or whatever the ritual they did or not done. So nothing to do with that. Yeah.
So you sort of answered my last question on rituals. That is, does it bring peace to the dead? It doesn't actually matter that much.
No. Because I'll tell you that why I'm saying that. They get in touch with the source. They understood, if it is not in the alive condition, after death they understood the source of so-called peace and love is not coming from here. Yeah. It is coming from some other source, pure loving source. They get in touch with that. So they're not looking for that here, because this world is contaminated. Suppose you have been offered a, very good purified water, and you have the pond with full of dirt and all. Why you go to the pond to drink the water? You will go to that source by filter or whatever you have. So you can take your drinking water from there. No, you need not to go there. It is that exists, but you can drink, but you don't. You have an option. Same here. After that, you go to the purity. You can feel the love of that and come to the source, get in touch with that directly. So you don't have to look for, it's all these matters, the love and what their people are feeling and all those kind of things for there. No. It is really not needed. So it is just the funeral, as I said, it is a social customs and norms, and it is more of the people who lived or family members who lived there rather than the departed one. Okay.
Yeah. So my next question is that people who are when they age, they are always scared that that death is impending, death of maybe a spouse, or the children are scared that they might lose their parents as they're aging. So how does one prepare mentally and emotionally for the loss of a loved one, which is everybody will go through at some point?
Yes, yeah. You see, again, I do it in two aspects of it. First part is social. In socially, you have to do your duty. towards your parent or the aged persons. It is your duty to do that. It has nothing to do with that whether they deserve it or don't deserve it, and what they have done into their lifetime, has nothing to do with that. So it is your duty. If you don't do your duty, you will bind karma. For that, you need to do that. You take care of that to the extent possible. I'm not saying go out of the way, leave everything, leave your family and sit in the feet of your parents and, cook their food and all. No need. Do whatever possible. Take care of them. At least you call them and things like that, so that, at least they feel better and all this. But the question is that how to be prepared for it. So it is, that is, you have to go back to the same truth that one day we have to live. And that's why, again, goes to the cartoon, that what I posted into the group, the cartoon picture. That understanding, the one day we'll live, but till that time, let us live the life. Yeah? So life is meant for living, not worrying about the death which will come on someday. It is true for our, earlier grandparents, parents, and then us, and then our children, grandchildren. They all will face some point of time. It will come into that way. Yeah. So let us accept that reality, accept the truth, and move on. That is like, do whatever best you can at any given moment. So then, and move on. And whether to preparing yourself and others for the final day, preparation means the acceptance. Just accept the truth. But whatever that, normally I give the advice to everybody, because I get a lot of calls on this particular what I should be doing and what I should not be doing and this thing. I just say simple principle. Do your best and rest you leave it to divine. You are nobody. This birth, marriage, and death, these three things are governed in the higher level, soul level. You cannot do much. At the time of leaving the body, it will leave the body anyway. Whether you do something, don't do something, it is that particular soul's choice. So those on the spiritual path, they are aware of it. But it is difficult for anybody. If I go and tell to my parents, maybe who are not spiritual, they will not understand it. Yeah. So no need to give unnecessary lecture. Better to give them whatever they need. They need emotional support, psychological support, or their physical security, or the medical, whatever the things, treatment they need, or support they need, or assistance they need, and all those things. Provide only that. If you can do it yourself, fine. If you cannot do it, arrange for it. So that they are, whatever they are living, they are not into some kind of in the physical level, they are not into the problem. They are facing the problem. In this matter, other than your duty, there is another aspect also I suggest to do your best. Why? See, it is truth that one day that our parent, one day they will live. So no matter what happens after that, their afterlife, etc., that doesn't matter. But what happens is, many of the time we see that the people coming back after their parents left their body, they are feeling guilty. I could have done that, and maybe I didn't do that, and that's why it's happened. That guilty feeling then affects their life. So that's why, to avoid that guilty feeling or that part of it, as when they are in a living body, then you do your best. So even still, they will leave their body as per their own plan, whole soul's plan. But after that, you will not feel guilty. What will be the mode? I have done whatever best possible. I'm not saying go out of the way, do something. Possible thing. Yeah. Because all of us, we know how much we can do, and I'm saying only to do that. If we intentionally we are not doing something, then also we internally we know that intentionally I'm not doing it. A lot of people, they give a lot of excuses of why they are not doing it. And fine, they say, oh, my other siblings and the brothers and sisters, it is their duty to take care. I have done so and so, and it's all, not nonsense, but this is only you are making fool of yourself. You have to do your best without giving into all these kind of complicating things. Why? Because after that, one day they will leave. So after that, at least you can say, I have done my part. Okay, that's it. so that you will be at peace with yourself. For that, when the time is available, you do that. Not is because of they need it or they're demanding or they are, others should have done it. All are correct, but you do whatever best you can so that you are clear in your conscience. So that is more important. So in this case, to prepare others for this death, just say the truth. Yeah, you tell it is all the divine plan. I can only do this much. That is the truth. Don't guarantee you, I will take care of you, we will live up to 100 years. Who knows? You don't know. So don't unnecessarily promise something what you don't have control with. Don't give false, assurance. You say, as long as you live, I will be with you. I will provide all possible things from my side. That will be the best gift you can give it to your aged, the family members. Yeah. And do whatever truly possible. If something is not possible, say it is beyond my capacity. So everybody will understand that. Okay, it doesn't matter what they react to it, and that's what. So you be transparent and truly you do that. And final thing I should say that even though you say or not, the loving connection everybody understand. If you don't do anything, be loving and kind to your the elderly family members. If you do only that, that will be good enough for them. But if you are unkind, if you are abusive, or they say there is no abuse, no kind also, there is in between, that is ignoring. Okay. There was the message came that with social media, somebody posted it. I'm not abusing my mother. I'm not, fighting with her and all. But I realized later on, I feel guilty that I ignored her. Like I didn't give attention to her. And that is what I feel guilty about. So just make sure. So how to address that bit of it? Just talk to that elderly family members lovingly, and say the truth. I can do only this much, and that's it. Give their moral support and all. Listen to them, talk to them. That's it. Their demands are not high. So that's how we can just to save ourselves from being guilty in the future for ourselves. Okay.
Okay. Then should I read this one? Is it possible to prepare for this unpredictable? It is possible, right?
Yeah, it is possible. Share the truth.
Okay.
Truth is, it is if you want to take the religious view, you say it is in God's hand. It is not in my hand. That's what I mentioned. You say whatever best possible, we'll do it. But when the call comes, we don't know. That's what I'm saying. Don't give false assurance. Yeah. So you will live up to 100 years or something. Don't give yourself. Tell the truth. Yeah. That is how you make them prepared. He said, doesn't matter, don't worry, but till that time, everybody has to go one day. And till that time, we'll make sure you are comfortable. What is possible? If there's the medical things are involved, we'll provide whatever possible. If any help is needed, we'll arrange or provide the help to you. And so that is how you prepare. That's all.
No point telling them about spirituality if they are not into it.
Oh, yes. No unsolicited advice. Okay. Yeah. But if they're interested to know, then again, because if you share, it will be your own understanding. Okay. Get them connected or, connected to any master and all. They can ask directly some questions and that you felicitate that. Okay. So they can get their own question and they can get their own answer and things like that. Yeah. So that you can arrange, but you don't give that. Because maybe whatever you give, you will share, that will be your understanding. But at the same time, you can share, but make it say that I got benefited of it and this is my understanding. Yeah, if you're interested, we can arrange it and leave it there. Okay. Not to enforce it, unnecessarily don't push it to swallow into their mouth if they're not ready for it. They're not necessarily everybody will be ready. It's fine.
So does facing the inevitability of loss change our relationship? What I meant to say is that does it make us like pessimistic or like this is the end, so what is the point? That kind of.
No, see, it depends how you place it. You place it like a punishment or if you talk about it in an abusive manner, that I don't know how long will you live and all this kind of, it will be insulting, right? Yeah. So if you, that's why the love factor comes, love and care. If you just be prepared for the truth with love and care, that is the best thing possible. You can give it to the elderly, the family members. And no need to unnecessarily create the fear, unnecessarily create that punishment view or negative view of the death. Yeah, but only you share the inevitability of it. It's everybody has to go one day. Yeah? So you, me, everybody has to go. So, and nothing we can do about it. We can cry whole day, but still, when it has to come, it will come. So it will not make any change. That even if you cry, so as long as we are living, just leave it as much as possible. It cannot be the best, but whatever possible, at least you do. If life has given us a lime, then make a lemonade at least. Yeah. Okay, that is the kind of thing. That is the kind of approach you have to have with your elderly family members.
So my question number 12, I'm just reading it, but I got the answer. Does acceptance help in dealing with the grief? Definitely it does.
Yeah. So this you have to accept the truth. See, I will tell you, there is a sense of loss for sure. Yeah. So even the very high level of spiritual master, if there is some death happens in the family, they feel the grief. It is everywhere. It is, we cannot, because as long as you're in the human body, you will feel the grief. For sure. The feel of loss. Feel of something, or at least you feel there was some hand above my head, that his hand is gone. Something of that nature. It's a feeling. Yeah? There no some physical hand, of course not, and the economic and things. It may nothing may be needed, but that sense of loss is there. Yeah? So what is that? Which question? 12. Huh?
12.
Acceptance dealing with it. Yeah. So what happens is, you now it is talking about the family members. There was death happened. So if you are spiritually aware, then this grief cannot, you will feel the grief. As I said, even the very, high level of spiritual masters, they cannot be completely be, because as long as the physical body is there, you will feel all the humanly, feelings and such, and even sometimes more. But only difference is they can manage it, they can control it, and they can control it with the higher, truth and the Brahmagyan, they can control it. That's it. So this sense, the key is how they manage it. Key is to surrender. You have to surrender. This something, you have to surrender to the soul level. They just know that it is the soul's decision. Soul wants to leave the body. That is the truth. The truth relieves you from any painful experiences, including grief. So in case of grief, you have to go to the truth and experience, hold on to the truth. And that is the key to minimize the pain of the grief, whatever, anyone is undergoing. So that is the key. So those spiritual people, like they are more, in the awareness of the truth. That's why they feel minimum pain. But they do feel the pain as a grief, but it is a minimum. Okay. Same principle, as much as you can do that, it will be good for you. That much you can easily manage the grief, what is happening at the time of death of any near and dear ones. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And my question 13, how do you cultivate acceptance? That before a loss happens, how do you cultivate acceptance? And how does, as a part of that also, how does one reconcile? Like you spoke about that many times what happens if there is a death or a loss, blame game starts.
Yep. Yeah.
That I should have done this or you should have done this. And it does create a lot of bad blood. So how does one prepare or cultivate that before it happens?
Yeah. So you see, for that already, I think I answered earlier about the approach that we should take. We have to do our best. We need not to do the best. Nobody will give us Nobel Prize to do the best, like a child-based son or daughter in the world. And there is nothing like that. Only thing is, this particular aspect, you have to manage ourselves so that intentionally we don't do anything or which is, unnecessarily we let go of any opportunity to help and support to our elder, the parents and things like that. Yeah, that is for us. That is for us, so that we need not to deal with these things in future. So that part we already, we explained earlier. And what you can do is you convince yourself this is the best possible from my side, and it should be honest one. You cannot be manipulative here. If there is something, only you will know that I have not given the best, shot or best possible from my side. Then you will feel guilty, because it is intentional, and somehow some time will come. Then you will realize it will not be. You cannot justify to yourself. Forget about what people are saying. This is about you. How you deal, I already explained. Now let us talk about the others and blame game and other things. Here, a blame game starts. That is also completely misunderstanding of the, as I said, the Satyam Eva Jayate, the truth can relieve us. Truth is healing. Truth releases all this kind of negative energy. What is the truth? Truth is death is a decision of the soul. No matter what you do, if you, somebody you might have seen, they have even there is a train accident, hundreds of people died, but one person saved. Not they didn't die. There is no reason they get saved. Or at the same time, sometimes the death doesn't need any reason. Somebody just sleeping and one day just heart fell and dead. So it is not actually. This is a complete misunderstanding that this caused that and this caused that. So what is the we have to? Truth is that we have to accept that death is a very, very private and personal matter of the choice of the soul. More we understand that, more we can associate ourselves to be part of it in both ways. Like if you are blaming others, means you think that other person said or done something that caused the death. If it is not a murder, I'm not going into that. So, but whatever they say and do, that will not change. If somebody wants to leave the body, they will live in any way. Even if they are in the highest level of luxurious life, they can live. The soul can decide. And somebody maybe is a terrible life, but still they can survive maybe years together before actually leaving the body. So these are not directly related to the. It is our own myth, our own misunderstanding that this caused this and this caused that. Particularly for death, no. But I'm not saying that somebody they are not doing their duty or they are supposed to be doing. You should not, remind them and make sure they also understand and contribute. Of course, yes. Whatever thing you have, influence you have to pursue that to make sure that the elderly relatives they are getting as much care as possible. For that, whatever needs to be done, do it. But if somebody left the body, what is the question is, then you blame that? No, it is no point. It is not the truth. It is not because of them it happened. So it is because of the soul's choice to leave the body, the death happens. It is not that. If there can be any excuse there. Somebody maybe, so some people say, okay, as long as they live in this particular house, they are okay, and shifted to another house and they died. These are all concepts. If it is, then the house is haunted house and all this is nonsense. Okay, so they just wanted to justify something to make sure that it looks bad and things like that. So these are all may not be true. So just be careful. Unnecessarily don't muddy the water. It's not necessary. You have to just move on. Pray and send love and light and move on. That's it.
So maybe 18th and 19th I'll finish because that's just something related. Yeah. Sometimes ethical considerations come up. Yeah. End of life decision. Mm-hmm. So in that case, like what does one do? It sometimes happens that doctors may ask or whatever. Like then they ask the person who's in his senses rather than somebody who's not. Then what does one do?
Okay. No, that's a very good question. That is a very this is it got in dilemma. Dubidha mein pade jate hain Hindi mein. See, in in my approach, my advice, if you take, it will be very clear. You ask the doctor, okay, medical, whoever is a medical expert. You ask that what is the medical view on this? Okay, whatever the medical view, go with that. Okay, don't bring emotion into it. Don't give me ethical thing into it. Yeah, ethical is, it depends upon the law of the land and keep on changing. So it sometimes this is okay, that is not okay, and how much is okay, how much is not okay. Of course, you have to follow the rule. If the rule permits, then next is if it is legally banned, then you don't do it. You don't have an option. But if it is legally not banned, then how you take the decision? You ask the doctor. Okay, who is treating, you say that give your medical view. Okay, what medical science says, you advise us according. Decision will take, but you give the view. Then they will come out with this, that so and so, so and so. It normally comes as a statistical thing, that chance of this. Like if you do these things, then you can drag this for maybe another 2 years. If you do this much, maybe another few months, and chance of completely recovered is 0. But dragging the life is this much. If you do this, it will be 2 years. If you do this, 2 months. If you continue, if you don't do this, maybe it is just another few days, and that's it. So, but basically I'm saying, if the medical science says there is no chance of the recovery, so then it is better to take the decision earlier is better. So take the medical view and go ahead accordingly. But if by other way around, if the doctor says no, if you do that, then there is a 50-50 chance. It can be, or maybe, 80-20 chance. 20% will survive, 80% may not survive. Then you check whether it is practical to go ahead with that option, go ahead that. As for I'm just giving my example in my father's case. Yeah. So in my father was having terminal blood cancer. Yeah? And we went to in Kolkata only, and one of nursing homes and all 2-3 times. That time what I did is my contract in Oman was over. So I was going and sitting in home. I was 6 months I was in Kolkata that time when my father's this thing happened. It is in end of 2020 and early 21. Anyway, so finally he was hospitalized, and even the doctor, said, I asked the same thing to the doctor. What is this medical view? Then what happened is that at one point of time, all his blood, even it cannot take any medicine, come to that level. So even doctor said that you are wasting your time, effort, and money. This is, they're saying, and in ashes you put ghee, ghee dala. So it is like that. So they are saying even to make his function, there is one particular injection is there, some German injection is the blood stop taking any medicine. If you push that injection, then it takes, at least you are, alive for some time. So that injection costed, that time I'm talking year 2000, but it costed around 4,000 rupees per shot. Yeah? So, and that has to come from Germany and refrigerated things like that. And he has to be pushed into that injection every day. What I did tell the doctor, whatever, available, you try. They said, now is stop taking any other medicine, only that we have to push to keep the blood circulation on, just to keep him alive. Yeah. I said, go ahead, do, and I have given blanket approval, any expert you need, anytime, any attack or whatever you call, on call, and, I'll pay for it. So anyway, so that happened for quite some time. So one fine morning, we received the call. This expired, no more. I went there. So that clinic, And I saw the doctor crying, while telling. Crying means, the tears falling on his eyes. I also a little bit got shocked. I was telling, you are a doctor, you might have seen the patient dying every day, maybe few patients dying every day. So what makes you to cry? He is my father, so I should have been more, crying and things like that. But I accepted it. I knew it is coming, so I just prepared myself. Then doctor told me one thing. Yeah? So he was telling that, first of all, if anybody in your place, they long time back, they could have tell we don't have money to do all this kind of thing. No point. Even when we told that there is no point, and still you say ki anything available, you go ahead with it. And when you give us go ahead with, say, that injection of 4,000 rupees per shot per day, we never seen this kind of thing before in my, that doctor said in my medical, career, I never seen somebody is taking, some family member is taking this kind of decision. So I'm not crying because, your father died. I'm just thinking, you have given us a full free hand. Anything, any expert, any medicine, any treatment, full free hand. No. Rather, we have to fight with the opposite thing. People don't pay, and we are careful whether we should do the next treatment or not. Each and everything, they come and ask thousands of questions, why we spend that much, why we cannot save this much. And on top, but what you did is completely opposite. Now I'm crying. What I'm thinking is whether my education, the medical education, proper or not. Maybe your father died because of my limited knowledge in the medical science. There may be some treatment I don't know. You have given us the full thing. You are ready to pay for it. But I'm crying, I'm thinking I'm limited. My medical understanding is limited. And that's why your father has expired. So that's what I'm crying. Anyway, so this is also one story. It's related to my father. The topic came to share. So now let me say why I did that. I don't want to take any chances. Even if they said it, if the chance is maybe less than 1%, I will say I will take 1% chance. Just try. So now when the thing happened, in my conscience, I'm completely clear. I could not have done anything better. Money will come and go, but this sense that whatever possible, we have done it. Not taking any credit for that. I'm just saying that I am convinced myself. I don't care what other people say, because I am convinced that whatever best possible thing to do, that I have taken the decision, and it is a medical advice which makes it happen the way it happened. It is not me that I told you, do that. So it is all our, end of the day, it is all our personal choice and all thing. So in this case, I better go with the medical advice, go whatever medical says. And if the medical says that it is reasonable, and if you're ready to take that chance, then you take the chance, take it. And then you rest, you leave it to the divine. Okay.
Okay. So my 19th question was actually something like that, our decision to make our loved ones, sometimes like you said, that you gave them a clean check to continue. Is it also because we are unable to face the loss, or
no, you have to face your conscience.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, your conscience. That's what I'm saying. Whatever needed, you ask the doctor. But what decision you take, that depends upon your own internal strength. You cannot, cheat yourself. If you can pay for it and later on come to know because, say, my father is not getting enough treatment and that's what he died, I will not be able to, forgive myself rest of my life. Okay. So for that, I took that decision, and I didn't bother whether my brother pay for it or whether it is justified to pay for it, or what my father has done for me that I have to do this much. No, don't make it complicated. Yeah? I did it because it is. I think I need a closure. Okay, so closure from my side that happened, and I have nothing to do. I've done my best. My doctor They said that they have done their best, and I said the story, their medical knowledge, that is up to that. Beyond that, they don't have any knowledge, any treatment available. So, and that's it. So now it is, we came out, conscious, it is the clean. So there is no ifs and buts there. If there was some ifs and buts and doubt, that doubt could have haunted me to the rest of my life. Yeah, yeah. Whether I accept it or not is different, but by conscience, I'm clear. So that is, and I know my father's blessings are there. It's Pitru Paksh is going on currently. So it is in this time that two dimensions come very close. Just immediate higher dimension is a Pitru.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'll also ask these questions, because this is a special time for.
Yes, yeah. It's Pitru Paksh means this fortnight before Mahalaya, Devi Paksh starts. No, so the Paksh before Devi Paksh, that is called Pitru Paksh. That time, that I'm just giving this in the Hinduism what is believed, and it is also true that the higher dimension comes. Higher means the other side comes closer. It is easier to travel between these two dimensions, and that is why that in that there are some rituals how to take the blessings of the departed ones, family members, or if there is somebody has a Pitru dosh. Means some family thing, it is a time to ask for forgiveness and things like that. So I'm not going to that ritual. Why I'm not going into the ritual? Because this is not the only way. Okay, this is one of the ways, and nothing wrong in following the traditional method in any religion. But there are many ways we can do it, and this is also fact that there is a time when these two dimensions come closer, and it is easier to communicate and invite our departed loved ones in this period of time. That is also true. Okay.
Now, next question is about our own inevitable mortality. Mm-hmm. Is it something we avoid or we think about? Like sometimes many people don't want to talk about it, even though you want to discuss it, or, it's pushed back.
Yeah. See, it is not for the death. It is for any unknown factor. You can hide it below the carpet, but then you will never know. But it will not disappear just because you are hiding it. Okay. Truth will reveal itself. Whether in a hard way, soft way, it depends upon how you are dealing with it. So in my advice will be whatever is the most tough one, go ahead and find the truth. I met with many, they have a different question, different setup, they challenge with giving a lot of logic and things like that. So can you prove it? It is there, or can you prove it? It is not there. I said, I don't want to prove anything. Who am I to prove you something? No. But if you wanted to know, then go ahead. So somebody says, I don't believe in God. I says, okay, very good. That is your view, but don't leave it till you are convinced there is no one. Go with that. Don't just say it. It becomes a fashion to say, I don't believe in that. I know who is this and who created God, and I don't believe. It's easy to say, but have you, in the first-hand experiences, attempted and then come to the conclusion? If the answer is no, then it is an ignorant, conclusion. So my only thing is pursue that till you know the truth, and then you take a decision. Decision can be anything. Maybe decision is the same thing, but that is a knowledgeable decision. You are aware of it. So same here about that for yourself, about the death, etc. Be aware of it. What is the truth? What really happened? There must be same question, same thing came in somebody else's mind as well, how they pursued it. And there are many things. There are so many, times because somebody sees the other side, some having experience, they call ND, near-death experience. Got to temporarily go to the other side and come back. So read that, and then you can have some kind of idea about that. What is this thing all about? Spiritually speaking, whoever has been spiritual awareness, they know it is just going to the outside the room, like their physical body is like a house. They have just gone out of the house. That's all. It is not gone forever. But they leave the house only. That's all. But it is just to the outside. It is our life is like being inside the house for a certain duration of time. You open the door and go to the outside. That is afterlife. So that is how they, and which is the truth, and that's how. But each and every one of us has our individual truth. Yeah? It is not same for everybody. But opening the door, going out of that limited understanding, that is clear. How you go, what you experience, that is a different. But this is like a limitedness. You go beyond limitedness, going to the infinite. That is the thing. It is meant by the room or house and going outside the house. All the spiritual masters are different in the philosophers. They have given into the many, many ways. Earlier days, you cannot talk something of that nature. They express it into the songs and, lyrical things. And some people describe it as like a cage, and then the bird, our soul is like a bird inside the cage, and the a bird flew away and things like that. Those are symbolic stuff. Yeah? Even when we understand both sides, then it is just opening and going outside the door. That's all. That is the death. Just crossing that something, the door. There is a Rabindranath Tagore. He was also, spiritually aware. I need not to, claim it to be. It's almost well known. He put it in different songs, and there was a very, very deep spiritual meanings of that. So there is one song is Kano re duar tuku par hote sangshay. Why you are hesitating to cross the door? He meant this. I'm sure, he meant this, that we are so much into that. And I know that whoever done research on Pragyanand Tagore and one of the researches was he's a very keen on the afterlife. He used to arrange the planchet and things like that. And there are some documented research on that as well. How he used to do, to whom he used to call, and what were the questions asked, etc., etc. Anyway, so what I'm saying, he was spiritually aware. He was aware of the afterlife, what is there in the other side and all, and came to the truth, the understanding of the truth. It is just like a crossing, opening the door and go to the other side. That's it. Yeah, as simple as that. So anyway, so this is a type of thing, this experience. So you can knock the door, it will open for you. You go with the awareness, and it's on your journey. It is not necessarily you have to, but if you're interested, you pursue that, and truth will be revealed to you. Okay?
Yes. So I feel that contemplating about death adds meaning to life rather than making it more depressing.
Yeah. You can put it this way. Means I'm just sharing the spiritual understanding. It is end of one chapter, beginning of the another chapter. Okay. It is a renewal. Okay. It is not the end. So if you understand that it is a renewal, then it will be easier to understand, rather it is seen as a negative connotation, as an end and nothing beyond that and all those things. Then maybe that is why the fear of unknown comes. Okay. But if you know it is a renewal process, and which is the truth, it is a renewal process. You live one incarnation, you go to the another one. We have hundreds of incarnations before. How does it matter one more? Yeah, so that is there.
So you answered this question, how do we cope with crippling fear of death? Then through acceptance, right?
Yeah, but now I'm going for, that is what I told in the beginning. Now I'm telling you the other part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
It is your spiritual awareness can get you completely fearless about the death. You understand it is a process, and just a few minutes back I was explaining it is just like opening a door and going to the outside, this kind of thing. But you can, all these are not hearing as a story. You can experience yourself, and you can do it. Again, truth will relieve you from getting this fear. What are the truth? There are many things. Like, you may not be aware that what is death? Our soul leaves the physical body, and when it leaves permanently, that is called death. It doesn't turn back or return back to the physical body. So what does it mean if it doesn't come back? That means there are instances it goes out and come back? Yes. How frequent? Every time you sleep. All of us, there is no exception. It is not for only the spiritual people. All of us, when we sleep, there is a part called deep sleep. Every time in the deep sleep, our own soul leaves the physical body. Physical body is sleeping. It went out and meet with all these people, in the higher dimension, meet with our relatives and the other, who left their body, all these things. And we go and meet with our soul family and all this kind of thing, chit chat, maybe have a cup of tea. I mean, not physical tea, it's not possible. We don't have the digestive system there, but some meeting. And then before you wake up, it comes back. Yeah? Every night, every time you go to sleep. Yeah? Only thing you don't have the memory of that. So from soul point of view, you're doing it every night anyway. Okay. It is only that particular night it didn't return. That's all. There is no need. There is no need for that physical body. So if that is the truth, so how does it matter? Death is not some kind of uncommon phenomena that your soul is undergoing. And no. You forget about incarnations. Even every night you leave and meet with all those things, whatever exactly you are going to do after death, that we are doing every night. You can go to anywhere. You wanted to visit, maybe Eiffel Tower and going to see what one particular asteroid has hit the Mars or not, and all. You can do it yourself. Come back before you get up. Yeah? It's every night. Only thing we are not aware. We don't have a memory because that memory, the brain is there in the body. You don't carry with you. That's why you don't have the memory. But your experience, soul level, you have. So how we can retrieve that information? You connect with your own soul consciousness. From your brain memory, go to Chidakas, your soul's memory. You can connect, you can get it. It is in the fourth body, our 7-body system. Yeah. Knowledge body, everything, all information stored there. During meditation, you connect with your fourth body. And you download all the information, including the one you left when you left your physical body, visited somewhere, or maybe you communicated with some departed one. We discussed about somebody in the near and dear one, leave our family members. In the next night itself, you go and meet in the other side and that same person. Yeah. So soul-wise, it is not a big deal. Only thing, they didn't return to their body. That's it. You see, they're much joyful. They're much, lively and lovable, figures there. They don't leave a characteristic. Their characteristics still there, recognize each other, but they don't have any restrictions on the physical pain and things like that. Yeah, it happens. So that is the truth. So if you understand the truth, this is good enough to have any kind of fear going about the death anyway. But to do that, you have to walk the spiritual path, go to that level when you can get connected with your fourth body in the living condition, into the meditative condition. You can connect and get all the information. Okay, and you can have astral travel, and you can have what is called lucid dreaming, like semi-dream state. You can experience everything, and all those things. Those are all possible. Those are experiences. Okay.
So one can even maybe communicate with masters?
Oh, yes.
It is possible.
We do meet many masters when we leave the body during the sleep, every night.
Okay.
But the question is that if we forget when it comes back to the how do we remember, best method is don't wait for the sleep. Do meditate. But your brain is there, you are conscious and aware, and that time you connect, you will get it. That is the spiritual part. That is a spiritual practice. You can communicate in your meditation, in the meditative state, awake state, but meditative state.
What does it mean to die a good death? I have heard people say this, that somebody has had a good death. What is it?
Means good for whom? So, it is for the family member, it is for the dead body, and it is for the soul who left already, because this will depend upon the answer. So if it is for the relatives and family members, good death means they didn't give much trouble. The expenses are relatively less. They didn't have to suffer so many things. That is a good death. When that person didn't have good debt in the market and they have a well-established things, maybe left some property and bank balance and all those kind of things. That will be the good death from the family members. Okay. But the person who died, for him the good thing is he just left, and at least they should not disrespect that particular dead body, and that's it. So because dead body doesn't have any choice, neither they're bothered. So it really doesn't matter what happens with the body. So body is means that is neutral. So and when there is no such good and bad thing. So it is at least it should be respectful. So body should not be the soul lived there. We call it a temple of the soul. Body lived there. The soul lived there for so long. So it should not be disrespected. Yeah? From the soul point of view, it doesn't matter. Yeah? So there is no such thing good and bad. In the other side, it is all same. Okay, they are connected with the like higher dimensional entities, angelic realm, birth angels and angelic guides and things like that. They take care of the soul. So you don't have to bother about what happened to the body and all this kind of things. And what people are doing with the body, and it is properly cremated, not, it doesn't matter. So that is, so in that sense, for that, there is no such thing called good or bad, thing. Like, as I mentioned, it is crossing the door. So whether you, after in outside, it doesn't depend upon the door anyway. So how does it matter? Door was wide open or little closed, or it is, struggle to come out, and whatever it is happened on the door, it doesn't matter as long as you went out, and it is all same, bigger word there. So if you see this analysis, it only affects the relatives who are left behind. So for them, the good I mentioned, so that in the practical level, they have a limited trouble, and so that they don't have to do anything much, or they have to suffer anything for this death. That is the only thing is called good death. But otherwise, from spiritual point of view, there is no such thing good or bad death. Yeah, death is death. That is, and it is no good, bad, no polarity. Death is just soul left the body. That's it. That is death. How these that doesn't matter. It is okay. And even if it matters, it is temporary. So overall, it doesn't make big impact on soul's journey on the soul level and things like that. And the body, what happens after death, that it by any ritual, whatever you do. Now I'm talking the spiritual understanding is our physical body need to go back to the 5 elements that the physical universe is made of. Pancha Mahabhuta. It has to go. The rituals, what you do with it, whether you burn it, whether you put below the ground and put it into the sea, or some custom they give it to some birds come and eat the dead body. It doesn't matter. End of the day, it goes back to the 5 elements. So that is the thing. And there is something called the energy body, the second one. It goes back to the energy pool of the earth, like the energy that dissipated. It was consolidated around the body, like aura, which says the physical body, we have a pranamaya kosh. And at the time of the death, physical body, it was cremated, and that aura stays there for about 11 to 13 days. And then slowly it dissipates from that energy body. So that's what happened after the death. And so good, bad, there is no such thing. It is just an event. And this leveling is for the people who stay back. They only say it good or bad. And it depends people to people, culture to culture, family to family, and all this. Some people's good, maybe another people's worst. Okay.
Maybe when they see somebody not suffering too much, they interpret that.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. If they themselves did not suffer much, and they didn't give, more importantly in our society, they didn't make others suffer, financially and other things, psychologically, and that's called a good death. So then it is also said that lucky are the ones who just sleep and never wake up, and somebody died on walking, just was walking from the last day, and so they said they are lucky ones. It is one sense it is correct, so they didn't make cause of suffering to others. But at the same time, when I say suffering, etc., let me also tell you, this is directly linked with the karma. Okay, karma of the people concerned and those relatives they are concerned. So this is as per the karma that these things are played out. So many of The elderly, our persons, they wanted to finish up their karma before they leave the body. So in the later part of the life, maybe last few months or years, they undergo some physical suffering. The purpose is to exhaust that karma. Whatever they don't want to carry it forward to their next life. So that is also the reason. So it is not necessarily that they are suffering because the relatives are not taking care. That is not correct. Okay. Even a very loving condition, all necessary supports are given, still you say you see some people are still suffering medically and health wise and all because of that. Because they wanted to finish up their karma and then leave the body, not before that. And then it will transfer to the next life, which is not really, not good in that sense for the next life. So they finish it off and then move on. Okay.
Okay. I think second last one. How can one initiate or one should initiate a difficult conversation regarding end of life decision with our loved ones? Or should it be put off? Like should one have a healthy conversation like this well in time with family?
Every culture, there is some way or other, whether it's religious or not, there is some kind of system, available in the religion or at least in the family, culture and all that is there. Okay. So you need not to reinvent, but it has to happen as a choice of the individual. So no need to make them ready for something. They just undergo the experiences, but others need to be ready. Okay. If something happens, how they will react. So there should be some kind of if some emergency thing happens, what to do, and if something happens gradually, what to do, and also it is it will be discussed about all stakeholders or family members, and then come to something. In each scenario, who will be doing what and the responsibilities and how it will be done and things like that. So that's how we get prepared. For so far as the person who is leaving the body to make them ready, no need. No. They will live as per their own soul's will. It's nothing. If you make it ready and then particular soul wants that physical body to live after say 10 years, then you are in a big soup. They will forget whatever you told that time. So just leave it there. Make whatever as pleasant as possible. If they wanted to eat something or to meet someone, some relative, and so just make that thing arranged. Or they wanted to visit some kind of pilgrimage and make sure you arrange that. Things like that. Yeah. So that should be enough. Small things, whatever their desires are. If you meet with that, that should be enough. And no need to specially prepare them for the D-Day or something. No need. It's really not needed.
Okay, thank you. And the last one, would you suggest some books or practices that can bridge that gap, or does reading help at all?
The breathing of what is that? Books on
gap between the living and death. Accepting death and living, is there any books or special practices that can
many books? Okay, so many people have written and all those kind of things. But let me tell you the truth. It is your personal experience and personal approach that makes the difference. It is not what is written in the books. Many things have been written about the death and what happens, what you should be doing, and some cultural thing or religious thing. You have to, read certain like a scripture or thing like that. So those are not. It's okay, not bad. But thing is, it depends upon the people concerned. Yeah? So just to have to make it as not reading. Basically, I'm not giving reference to any book because everything is limited and everything is based on their personal accounts of different people's individual experiences, and it is not necessary same experience will repeat to whomever is meant for. If you're looking for some of your relative, maybe it will happen completely different way. So no need. It is not like a same exam that everybody will appear. It's not like that. Okay, but make it the loving care and all that everybody, as long as the person is living and whatever their they're in the living body, and create some good environment into their living place, and that's it. No need to. I don't think it is necessary for any book reading for that. There are plenty of available. Into Google search, you will get it. Yeah, I'm sure there will be some guide also what to do. For the terminally ill patients, and if you search, you will definitely get something. Yeah. But only thing is, you never know whether it will be applicable for you or not, whether it will be all 100% correct. Even if it is 100%, I'm saying one step beyond. Even if it is 100% correct, there is no falsification. Still, there is no guarantee that it will be helpful for the case you are intended to. Okay, it will come in a unique way. So use your common understanding, be compassionate, and that is and you will be guided. And as I mentioned, it is their soul's decision. Soul will take care of it. Whether you do it something or don't do something, you read something, you tell something, don't tell something, it doesn't matter. It will happen. In the millions of years, all these things, death has been occurred to the humanity, and it will also occur here also. There is no exception. So only thing is make it smooth as far as possible, give a good loving environment, and that's it. Okay.
Thank you. I know too many questions I asked.
No, fine. It's all fine. Okay. Only thing is that I don't want to spend too much time on any one question. Otherwise, it is such a subject. On any one or two question, we can have half an hour discussion on that. It's a good question, good combination. So appreciate for these questions. Okay. All right. Okay. God bless you. Okay, Shonali, go ahead with your question.
Guruji, I want to ask you one thing. How to get rid of Pitrudosh?
Pitrudosh.
Yes.
That is, this is a religious thing, yeah? The Guruji, Prem Nirmalji, he has posted one link. You are into Om Prem Sangha by any chance?
No.
Okay, so I think those I will forward you. Okay, it is Guruji's thing. Is with Pitrupaksh, what has been done as per the Hinduism. Okay, it is Guruji has some Guruji Prem Nirmalji. I mean, he has some video we posted into that. I will forward you that. Go through that. You will get your answers.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Okay. God bless you. Chaitali?
Guruji, in Pitrupaksh, you told that souls come down. But what happened those souls who have already taken birth?
Doesn't matter. At soul level, everybody is available. Even we are also available. At soul level. Even if we are living a body, still our soul level, we are all available. Okay. So it doesn't matter. So it is a complete misunderstanding if you think the soul is inside the body. It is not. Soul contains the body. It's one part of the soul is connected to the body, but soul is independent of that body. Soul is always available. Whether person taken birth, rebirth, or even 5 more births, doesn't matter. They're always available. And they know everything. So you can access to any point. They will know exactly. They will know who is contacting them and what they're asking. They will respond accordingly.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. God bless you. Hari Om.
Guruji, pranam.
Pranam.
Just small thing. When parents are alive, children sometimes get into an argument with them or a small thing. The intention is not that, but at times it happens because of disagreement. But does it generate karma, Guruji, by any chance?
Oh, yes. Yes, it does.
Can it be overcome by seeking forgiveness before they leave the body?
Yes, it is. You can ask forgiveness.
Okay.
Forgiveness with the truth that, just forgive me. I am also not perfect. This is the truth. Knowingly, unknowingly, I hurt your feelings or anything I said and done, it may hurt you. So please forgive me. Okay. So ask the forgiveness in the respectable way, which is understood, but still it is not as a threat. Unless until you forgive me, then dekh lena fir. So don't do that. Okay. So just ask if you are asking for forgiveness is genuine, and the particular parent and all, or the relative that grants it, it is done. It's okay. It will not affect you in that sense. So of course it depends on the degree of the karma. So if you cheated their all life savings and then say just forgive me, and they say okay I forgive you and no karma, that is wrong understanding. See, you understand that if something, forgiveness will work only if you do praschit. Okay, if you return, then only forgiveness will do that. I'm not talking about something verbal argument or something. That can be asking for good enough. Something we cheated someone, that person is a deathbed. Suppose I cheated the money, or property. So without returning it, I'm asking forgiveness. So that will not work. Because the praschit has not happened. I didn't return the property. Okay, so just take note of that. I'm sure this is not happen most of the cases, but some people take the forgiveness as a smart move. Not giving actual thing what they need to give, which is legitimately for that elderly, and they just ask for forgiveness, thinking that all account closed. It doesn't happen that way. Forgiveness without praschit has no meaning.
Right.
Okay, you have to do praschit. Then only forgiveness will act.
Right.
So the praschit means return. Return with interest. Whatever you have taken, without any, knowingly, unknowingly, or any harm you did. So it has to be returned, and then I'll ask forgiveness. Then it will act. But other only asking forgiveness means some people think it is a shortcut. It becomes a long cut. Okay. So it is not, even asking forgiveness will not help in these cases. But otherwise, if it is just saying bad words, sometime become angry and said something, and those kind of things, only forgiveness good enough.
Guruji, now this is okay till such time a person is alive and one has realized the mistake. Suppose the person has left the body, then what happens in that case during Pitrupaksha?
Just say it again. Who left the body? Who is asking for forgiveness and who is granting the forgiveness?
Your parents or your elders who have left the body, and you could not
already
ask forgiveness.
To ask forgiveness.
We were not aware of it at that time, unknowingly.
Correct. Yeah.
Then what can we do now?
Yes, in that case, if the person to whom you are asking the forgiveness is not in the living body, then you can do it in your prayers. Okay. You can sit in the prayer, and in fact, there are Pitrudosh Nivaran Vidhi is also there.
Okay.
But Guruji Prem Nirmalji has posted. So you can do that Vidhi. There is some rituals are there. You can offer water and all this kind of thing. Those are the ritual things. You can do that ritual because you no more. You cannot directly go and talk in person. So you have to do that ritual. That ritual will be a praschit. And then you ask for the forgiveness through prayers. Okay. And my advice is when you ask for the forgiveness, don't specify. Because specification only as per your limited understanding. You just say, whatever knowingly, unknowingly, any harm you did, please forgive me for everything. Okay, so even if you don't know, that doesn't matter. It will be all, it will be relieved. See, this is this asking forgiveness, we call releasing the intention. Once you do it, it will go from your system. If you honestly do it, not cheating. As I said that you have looted a lot of money from that person and you say, forgive me for you. No, it will not, nothing will work in that sense. But if it is nothing to do with that, there is no such thing, knowingly any cheating happened, etc. But that person might have felt hurt or maybe injustice or something. Knowingly or unknowingly, you can still ask for the forgiveness, do that ritual and finish it off. Okay, that is all possible. But there is one exception to it. Okay, what is that exception? Exception is if you get enlightened, you don't need to do any ritual.
Correct.
At the time of enlightenment, all these karmas and all is gone. So, in fact, I'm sure I shared the story. I went into Rameshwaram with Guruji's this thing in I think 2014 or something, 16. I don't exactly remember. So Rameshwaram is one of the place where you can do the rituals, like a Gaya and other places. You can do Pitru the rituals. So that time Guruji told whoever likes to do all the Pitru thing, you can do it. Ask a priest and get it done. This is a good place. Then when I went there into the water, and then from the higher dimension, my these things, forefathers, they told it is already done. You don't have to do it. Because that is after 2010 when the Guru Kripa happened. My forefathers tell we are thankful that in our family that itself is clear. Even all your ancestors, Pitru dosh and everything goes at the time of enlightenment. So I did only put the intention into the sea water and put back into the sea 3 times. That's it. I do it myself. I need not to take any, the priest or anybody to do any kind of ritual. Right. So because my forefather says you've done it, we don't need anything. It's all done. It's so you don't need to. Because I was thinking, why to take chance? I will do also ritual. Right. Because it is an opportunity to do it. I could not go to Gaya and all those kind of places, so I will do it here. Then I was getting that divine message that you don't need to. It's all done. So that is also there. So if you got enlightened, then all these Pitru dosh, that dosh will be already lifted.
Guruji, one more aspect related to body is that what is your views on the organ donation? Does the person taking organ of a particular individual who has left the body has to bear the karma of that person who has left the body? Is it connected?
No. Organ donation is a completely different matter. Okay. Organ donation is, after the leaving the body, that body part has to go back to the 5 elements.
Right.
If it is for helpful for others, it will be a good thing for, it's a good karma. Both who is arranging it and both for the, the departed one. At soul level, there is no karma. I mean the next life. So it will good for that. If that can be useful for somebody else, then why not? But only thing is, it is because some people, it is their sentimental issue that, my relatives, the body will be cut and things like that. That's the emotional part of it. So that's why they don't allow it. It's their choice. But if you use that body for somebody else, why not? Okay, it will be also good. Some of the religion, the Zoroastrian, the Parsis, they put the body so that bird can eat. So even after leaving the body, the body is used to feed the birds. Here we are talking the body part has been used for somebody else. Why not? Okay, so spiritual point of view, there is no such thing because the body has to go back to the 5 elements anyway.
Right.
If because of any reason, because of any way they can be used for somebody else, it will be good karma.
Thank you so much, Guruji. Wonderful.
Okay. God bless you. Sadhanjali, go ahead.
Guruji, one thing I wanted to share. A few days back, I saw a video of a lady who shared about her past life experience, the near-death experience, and it was exactly the same which you always say. Like she felt that surrounded by love thing, and she wanted to spread that. So, yeah, it felt like I was just listening to you. I mean, yeah.
What is the name of the lady? Anita Murjani?
No.
Okay.
I forgot this lady. She was someone from the US, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But maybe if I find the link, I can share.
No, that's fine. There are many. Yeah. So okay. I'm just saying, but that her book is very famous. Dying to be Me. Oh, that is very famous. Yeah. Anyway, but there are a lot of people, Andy, that there is something called Soul Podcast. one guy, he is taking interview of many, he's having ND, so those are there. But anyway, that's why we
Yeah,
are aware.
maybe it could be there. Yeah.
Share the link, but yeah, go ahead.
My question is, what is the truth behind like paranormal activities? Or if I have experienced something paranormal activity around me, what is the truth behind that?
Whether it is true or it is imagination of your mind, you ask your guru. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are not aware, but the guru can confirm that it is actually, psychic experience or it is your mind game. That is important.
Mm-hmm.
All experiences are not necessarily psychic. Means basically the guru will confirm whether it is a truth or not.
Mm-hmm.
What is non-true, which is cooked by your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Visualization, imagination, those are your, I call it mind construct. So guru will confirm whether it is a truth or it is a mind construct. If it is a mind construct, you have to ignore it. But if it is a truth, you will get that experience.
Okay. And my second question was like, we have talked about, if there is like, we just talked about like if we have an argument with an elderly person, it binds karma. What about we have an argument with our kid, maybe? Is it the same, like binding karma? Should be asked?
See, if somebody is living body, we call it make amends and ask for forgiveness. If it is a just very small child, the child will grow up someday. You just inform that in your childhood I have said these things, I could not have done that, please forgive me. To ask for it, you have to overcome your ego, and that is necessary. Okay, child say, I don't remember, it's okay, but you did your bit. See, I'll tell you why. It is nothing to do with the child. It is your energy is disturbed somewhere because you did something, you are not comfortable with it. Okay. You are keeping it and it is cooking inside you. That uncomfortableness inside you has to go. The child or another relative is just a bahana, just an external excuse. To let it go from your system, you need to do that amend. That amend is just ask for forgiveness. I'm just saying asking for the forgiveness, not getting forgiveness. Okay. Other person say, it doesn't matter. Or maybe that person remembers, you say, I'll never forgive you in my life. It doesn't matter. You ask for the forgiveness, it goes from your system. Okay, so this is about the asking of the making amends something, done it in the proper way so that it doesn't, that energy, trapped energy doesn't disturb you anymore. But only my advice is whenever you do it, be honest. Don't be saying that by this way I can overcome my guilt, and it will not happen because if you are not genuine, it will still come back. That uneasiness will come back. Okay, but once you say it, it will go out from your system. You have done it honestly. That's it. Because we just suggest this kind of thing as a part of healing process. Because these affect our life. Some people to whom we have done, they might have forgotten. No. They don't need any forgiveness. They don't remember also, something of that nature. But it's not about them. It is about you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
God bless you. All right. So we'll conclude our session today. So we'll say some Om chanting, then Shanti Part, and then we'll conclude our session for today. Om